Recently, the world has experienced heightened tensions between Israel and Iran. Missile attacks have been launched over and over as the conflict escalates. But you may be wondering, what causes these conflicts, and why are these two countries not harmonious? Well, the Israel-Iran conflict has deep roots, shaped by shifting political and ideological tensions since Iran's 1979 Islamic Revolution. Shift in Iranian government. Before 1979, Iran, led by the Shah, maintained friendly relations with Israel. But the revolution brought an anti-Western, theocratic government that viewed Israel as an adversary. Iran's new leaders rejected Israel's right to exist, labeling it a symbol of Western influence and oppression against Muslims. Support for opposing groups. Iran began supporting groups like Hezbollah and Hamas, which Israel views as threats. Iran's financial, military, and ideological backing of these groups has fueled regional conflict, especially since Hezbollah has become a major player in Lebanon, near Israel's northern border. Regional power struggle. Iran and Israel became rivals for regional dominance, with Israel aligning closely with Western powers like the US, and Iran positioning itself as a leader in resistance against Western and Israeli influence. Nuclear ambitions. Iran's nuclear program has been a significant point of tension, with Israel strongly opposed to any possibility of a nuclear-armed Iran. Israel views this as an existential threat and has lobbied for international action to prevent Iran from developing nuclear weapons, leading to economic sanctions, international inspections, and indirect confrontations. Military escalations. Over the years, the conflict has taken a military turn, with Israel carrying out airstrikes on Iranian targets in Syria and other parts of the region. These strikes aim to prevent Iran from gaining a foothold close to Israel, escalating the proxy aspect of their rivalry. The Israel-Iran conflict has primarily consisted of indirect proxy-based engagements rather than direct warfare, but the progression of attacks and hostilities over the years has become more intense. Here's an overview of key events and escalation points. 1980s, formation of Hezbollah, 1982. Iran-backed Hezbollah was established during the Lebanese Civil War to resist Israeli forces in Lebanon. Iran supplied Hezbollah with funding, training, and weapons, establishing a base for anti-Israel operations. 1985. Beirut bombing. Hezbollah, allegedly with Iranian support, was implicated in attacks targeting Israeli and Western interests in Lebanon. 1990s, continued proxy support. Iran increasingly supported Hezbollah and other Palestinian militant groups, including Hamas, which led to tensions and periodic attacks on Israeli territories. 2006 Lebanon War. Hezbollah and Israel engaged in a major conflict after Hezbollah abducted 2 Israeli soldiers near the Lebanon-Israel border. Iran reportedly supplied Hezbollah with rockets and weaponry used to target Israeli cities. Israel launched airstrikes on Hezbollah targets in Lebanon, and Hezbollah fired rockets into Israeli territory. Iran's nuclear program, 2005 to 2010. As Iran's nuclear ambitions developed, Israel saw this as a direct threat. Israeli intelligence agencies began targeted operations, allegedly assassinating several Iranian nuclear scientists and using cyber attacks, e.g. Stuxnet in 2010, to disrupt Iran's nuclear infrastructure. 2010s. Syria's civil war, 2011 onwards. Iran sent forces and resources to support Syria's Assad regime, bringing Iranian and Israeli forces closer geographically. Israel began to regularly target Iranian positions and weapons transfers in Syria to limit Iran's influence near its borders. 2018 to 2019, intensification of airstrikes. Israel increased its airstrikes on Iranian targets within Syria, targeting supply lines, weapons depots, and Iranian military installations. Israel claimed these strikes were preventive, aiming to thwart Iran's attempts to establish a permanent military presence near Israeli territory. Golan Heights and drone strikes, 2019. Iran and Hezbollah attempted to launch attacks using drones on Israeli positions in the Golan Heights, which Israel intercepted and retaliated against, with additional airstrikes in Syria. 2020's targeted killings and sabotage, Qasem Soleimani, 2020. The US killed General Qasem Soleimani, a top Iranian military leader, in a drone strike in Iraq. Although this was a US operation, Soleimani's death strained Iran's operations in Syria and the broader region, indirectly benefiting Israeli interests. Natanz nuclear facility sabotage, 2020-2021. Iran's Natanz nuclear facility experienced several sabotages, likely carried out by Israel, involving cyber attacks and physical explosions. These attacks slowed down Iran's nuclear enrichment processes. 2021 to 2022 maritime attacks. Iran and Israel engaged in tit-for-tat maritime attacks, with Iran attacking Israeli-owned commercial ships and Israel retaliating against Iranian vessels. This marked a new domain of conflict beyond land-based operations, increasing attacks on military and intelligence personnel. In 2022, Israeli agents were suspected in targeted assassinations of Iranian Revolutionary Guard members, signaling an intensified covert war against Iranian military leadership. Recent developments, 2023 to present. Continued airstrikes in Syria and Iraq. Israel continues airstrikes against Iranian-backed forces in Syria to prevent military buildup near its border. The attacks also aim to prevent arms transfers from Iran to Hezbollah and other proxies. Escalated cyber warfare. Both countries have increased cyber attacks against each other's infrastructure, targeting energy sectors, transportation systems, and other key infrastructures. 2023 drone incidents and surveillance. Iranian drone incursions and Israeli air defenses have become common, with Israel intercepting drones approaching its territory and retaliating against Iranian drone launch sites in Syria. Israel and Iran's hostilities have largely been indirect, utilizing proxy forces, cyber attacks, and targeted assassinations rather than full-scale warfare. However, in recent years, direct airstrikes, maritime clashes, and advanced cyber and intelligence operations have heightened the conflict's intensity, making it more multidimensional. This escalation continues to affect the region's stability, with both countries remaining heavily invested in countering each other's influence. Thanks for watching. Suggest below topics you are interested in below. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. I will see you in the next video. Bye.